Welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're going to get into something pretty specific and honestly a really frustrating loss for sports fans.
Yeah.
We're looking at the Green Bay Packers' 10-7 defeat at home to the Philadelphia Eagles. And the source material we've gone through, it all points to one thing.
Right. It's a brutal central argument, isn't it? The claim is this loss wasn't about talent. It wasn't even the defense. It was, and I'm quoting here, a pathetic offensive performance.
And one that's being blamed directly on head coach Matt Lafleur and the offensive staff.
Entirely. It's a really harsh judgment, but the analysis suggests a complete failure in tactics and how they manage their players.
So our mission today is to really unpack that. We're going to look past the final score and dig into the play calling, the tactical decisions, the personnel mistakes that all added up.
Especially when you put it next to what the defense was doing.
Exactly. We really need to understand why the critique is basically saying Lafleur's coaching is sabotaging the team.
Okay, so let's just jump right into that contradiction because the analysis is crystal clear on this. The defense was lights out.
Totally dominant.
They held a very, very good Eagles offense to just 10 points and only 294 total yards. That's well under 5 yards of play.
In today's NFL, that should be an automatic win. I mean, it just should.
It absolutely should. And what's wild is the pattern here. The material we looked at shows that all three of the Packers' losses this season.
And the tie.
And the tie. Right.
Yeah.
They've all been in games where the defense gave up 16 points or fewer.
That's unbelievable.
It's an insane stat. You're giving your offense chance after chance to win the game for you, and they just couldn't do it.
The analysts were so mad about this. One of them actually said they would have put their mortgage on it, that Green Bay would win by 2 touchdowns if you told them Philly only scores 10.
And that just shows you the level of confidence they have in this defense. It makes the offensive failure that much worse.
Yeah.
I mean, if we dig into the standouts, the defense completely shut down the Eagles' running game, which is their whole identity, held them to just 3.3 yards a rush.
And specific players really showed up.
Oh, yeah. They singled out Eden Cooper, said it was his best game of the season. Devontae Wyatt was causing problems all day, and Carrington Valentine. They called him outstanding at corner.
So you have a defense that the material is calling Super Bowl quality.
Yes.
Which means the offensive failure isn't just, a bad day at the office. It's a massive missed opportunity.
It makes it unforgivable.
Yeah.
When your defense is that good, it buys you some room for error. But the offense, it used up all of that room and then some.
And that takes us right to the coaching, the play calling from Matt Lafleur. And this is where the analysis gets really, really harsh. The offense is described as sloppy, undisciplined, unfocused, uncoordinated, and poorly called.
That's not just one player having a bad game. That's a systemic coaching issue.
Absolutely.
And the sources really drill down on one specific thing. This obsession with running the ball on early downs is bordering on criminal.
Bordering on criminal. That is a very strong phrase. What's the stat to back that up?
It's damning. Against Philly, the Packers ran the ball 20 times on early downs. Their success rate was 30%.
30%.
30. So let that sink in. 70% of the time you run on first or second down, you are actively putting yourself in a bad position.
You're setting yourself up for 3rd and long.
Exactly. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. And now the defensive coordinator on the other side knows you have to pass. Their guys can just pin their ears back and go after your quarterback. You lose all your advantage.
So it's not just that the runs weren't working. It's that they were making every other down harder.
Precisely. And the interpretation of that is, well, it's even harsher. The analysts basically see Lafleur calling the game like he is a quarterback who can't throw, like he's coaching Justin Fields or something.
Wow.
Which, they say either means he doesn't trust Jordan Love or he's just being a coward in those big moments. And we should be clear, that's one analyst's very critical take.
Is there any argument for it, though? I mean, could he be trying to protect Love because the offensive line has been struggling?
That's a fair question, and a coach might do that. But the argument here is that the conservative calls actually made the O-line's job harder.
How so?
Because it's so predictable. But then you look at the second half.
Right, the contrast. What happened when they actually let Love throw the ball?
Well, when they finally started using play action, it worked. Instantly.
Yeah.
It slowed down the pass rush and led to huge conversions.
Including the touchdown.
That 3rd and 10 shot to Christian Watson. Love steps up in the pocket under pressure and delivers a strike. It just proved two things at once.
Yeah.
The quarterback has the talent, and the game plan is the only thing holding him back.
So the capability is there, it's just being stifled. Okay, Let's shift to personnel, because the sources point to some really bad decisions there too, specifically with the offensive lineman, Jordan Morgan.
Yeah, this is a big one. The material calls this a critical coaching failure. Morgan spent all of training camp playing left tackle,
Just left tackle.
rotating there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was this big experiment. And then right before the season, they just abandoned it and threw him in at right guard.
That makes no sense.
0 sense. If you thought he might play right guard, he should have been practicing there all summer to get ready.
So instead, he's just thrown into the fire.
Exactly. His confidence is shot. He's visibly playing out of position. And now the whole right side of your line is unstable. The coaches basically create their own problem.
And then you have the mistakes at the very end of the game. The situational stuff. Let's talk about the kicker, Brandon McManus.
Oh, this is one that makes you want to pull your hair out.
So, 5 seconds left. The Eagles' cornerbacks are playing way off Christian Watson.
They're giving you a free 5 yards. The analysis was screaming about this. Just throw a quick 3 or 4 yard hitch. Get McManus a 60-yard field goal attempt instead of a 65-yarder.
And that difference matters.
It's enormous. The probability changes so much. It was just a complete failure of clock management and situational football. Inexcusable.
And that ties into the other big one, the 4th down failure from earlier.
This trick-em-dick-em shotgun run.
Which is just, what, trying to be too cute?
It's trying to be way too clever.
Mm-hmm.
On 4th and 1, you need power, simplicity, a QB sneak, a simple dive, not some complicated misdirection play where your offensive line gets, and I quote, demolished off the snap.
And the most frustrating part, according to the source material, wasn't just the bad play call.
It was not calling a timeout. Why not just stop, take a breath, and find a better play?
It all comes back to the offensive line, doesn't it? Which has had so much investment. You're paying Aaron Banks, you moved Elton Jenkins to center thinking he'd be an all-pro, and they're just not playing well.
They're playing way below expectations.
Yeah.
And that's the engine of the whole offense.
But here's the most fascinating claim in all of this research. The analysis states that when Jordan Love is kept clean, when he has time, he has been the best quarterback in the NFL.
That's a huge claim, but it really makes the point, doesn't it? The root issue isn't the quarterback, it's the protection. It's a solvable mechanical problem. The message to the coaches should be, stop letting our guy run for his life.
So what's the fix? The analysis actually proposes some concrete ideas.
It does. First, and this is simple, use more play action. It's not just to be tricky. It structurally slows down a pass rush. It makes linebackers hesitate for just a split second.
Okay, what's next?
Use a 6th offensive lineman more often. We see good teams do it. The Eagles, the Bills, the Rams.
So how does that actually work? What does an extra lineman do for you?
It just simplifies everything. You can guarantee a double team on their best pass rusher, or you can handle a surprise blitz. Yes, you lose a receiver, but if your line is struggling, it's an insurance policy. It builds confidence.
And the third solution is maybe a bit more drastic.
Yeah, they referenced the 2021 season, where the team made wholesale changes to the O-line mid-season and it completely turned things around. They're suggesting maybe it's time to do that again. Shake up the starting 5.
Which, funny enough, brings us right back to the coaching, doesn't it?
It all does. The struggles on the line started with that bad decision about Jordan Morgan in training camp. It created a ripple effect. You just have to wonder why they're so hesitant to make a big change now when it's worked before.
Okay, so after all this frustration and criticism of the coaching, the analysis still says the season is by far not over.
Yeah, there's some cautious optimism. And the reasoning is pretty sound, actually.
Which is what?
Look at the bad results. The 3 losses, the 1 tie, they were all super close games, down to a field goal, a final drive. That shows you this is a team that could get hot if the offense just clicks.
If they stop shooting themselves in the foot.
Basically, yeah. And the defense is the safety net. They're going to keep them in games against the Vikings, the Bears, the Giants. Plus, before this week, the offense was actually first in the league in EPA per play.
So the efficiency is there, in flashes.
The talent isn't gone. It's just being held back. The belief is that they will get this figured out.
But there's a big but.
There's a huge caveat. For this team to go from just a playoff team to a true Super Bowl caliber team, Lafleur has to change. He has to abandon that conservative approach in the big moments.
So we'll wrap up with this core tension for you to think about. You've got a Packers team with a championship-level defense and a ton of talent on offense, but the coaching, the tactical rigidity, it seems to be holding them back from their true potential.
So here's the final thought. Given that we know mid-season shakeups on the offensive line have worked for this team in the past, And given how frustrated that defense must be, what's it going to take? How much internal tension will it take for the coaching staff to finally swallow their pride and make those necessary wholesale changes to get this team over the hump? That's the real question facing them right now.